Good evening guys and welcome to part 2 of this Q&A session with myself and Ralph.
Welcome back.
Hope you enjoy. James has sent in, thank you for these James. Are we getting any more equipment like our K2 meter?
I think as we grow we will always turn around and get more equipment, but same again with being a small group of us really, it's like we don't want so much equipment that we end up carrying what we don't need.
Yeah.
You know, so it's having an array of equipment that's going to be suited to the area that we're actually at.
I think if a newer piece of equipment like a K2 meter but an upgraded version came out, we'd look at things like that, updating the equipment we've got.
Yeah.
And then if someone gave us pretty decent evidence for a new piece of equipment which can actually do what it says on the tin, we'd be interested.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean,
remember the K2 meter is you know, it's EMF reader, so when we've got 3 different types, although the K2 meter is the one that we generally like.
It seems
easy,
pretty reliable,
simple,
don't it? Yeah.
You know, so yeah, pretty soon you'll see the other 2 ones being used as well, so watch this space.
Indeed. What does all the equipment do that we have?
Oh,
so go on. You're the tech guy, to be honest. I just try and film the vlogs.
Right, so obviously while speaking with what we're using at the moment, we've got a camcorder with an IR light, so infrared, which enhances the night vision. So that just means we can see in the dark basically through the video in a nutshell. Then you've got different lights on that will enhance that ability, so take it from a standard around 3 meters on a decent-ish camcorder to, you know, 3 or 4 times really before it starts pixelating a bit.
Yeah. K2 meter?
K2 meter measures, it's EMF meter as we said, so it's electromagnetic field, so basically that's what you get from like your electric appliances at home, so it could be your TV, anything like that.
And it's also what is apparently believed to be how ghosts manifest or spirits manifest. They use that energy.
It's a magnetic field that they use, and that's why you'll get the concepts of white noise from TVs, it's been portrayed in movies as well. You know, through the radio things with the spirit boxes, I'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, so that's K2 meter, so you know, that's a big one.
Spirit box? Spirit
box, again, they've been called lots of different spirit box, Frank box. Spirit box is the same SP11, which is an older version of what's out there. Basically that sweeps across the radio frequencies on FM and AM, front, backwards at different speeds, and you're supposed to pick up sort of like the response from spirits there through that. Bearing in mind you have to look for the same voice over a series frequencies, because if it's FM, especially in this area, you're going to pick up quite a substantial amount of radio disruption. So we tend to use that as more of a compass, a direction to look at rather than relying on it.
Yeah, and it does get quite noisy in confined spaces, so it annoys the hell out of you.
That's it. Dictaphone is my favourite one.
Dictaphone.
Yeah, it's because of EVP, so electric voice phenomena, so it catches that on there, so things that a human ear weren't necessarily here at the time, it catches on that. So
which we have actually picked up on a snippet from Codner Castle, which we didn't notice, which Ralph has picked up on the dictaphone. So at some point I will be editing a video together of all the audio phenomena that we've captured to date, some pictures as well probably, of the things that we didn't actually stumble across when we was editing the things together. You know, when we do one video it takes me roughly 5 to 6 hours to edit together. The same for Ralph to go through a dictaphone. It is quite laborious, so you have to bear with us with it. We try our best to do them and try and capture everything that we can do, but sometimes because it's so long, yeah, we do tend to miss a little bit, unfortunately.
That's yeah. Cameras as well, you use a camera. So we've got some photos from the camera. Yeah, Codner Castle again, which is, you know, quite surprising actually. Yes, you see that. That's quite a good image to look at. Well, so we've got a couple of pieces of kit that we've not used yet, which is the shadow detector, which is a laser pen that spreads out a pattern of dots and that on an area. Shadow goes past it, picks it up, so you know you can do that. Motion detection light, so we've got one of those as well. Again, we've not used it yet. So the general pieces of kit really, and then there's nothing more than and just relying on your own senses. Calverton
It's
Woods,
thing, isn't it? Yeah,
you know, you get a sense that something's on there, so you've got to trust yourself and trust your instincts as well, and question it. But yes, I think that's most of the kit so far. If we've not mentioned it, let us know and we'll mention it in the next one.
or we'll go and buy it.
Yeah, that's it.
If it's useful anyway, we'll need to try
yeah,
it out
if there's
first,
anything you want to ask about, just
drop us a
shout
line
out.
in the comments. Not a
There
problem.
is so much kit out there now, it's
Yeah.
unreal.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we've not got the bank balance to be able to afford a lot of it, so
No.
if anyone wants to donate one, I want this way.
Are we going to more places around this country?
Oh,
Oh, we most
yeah,
certainly are.
oh, yes.
Feel free.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we've got a few lined up now, haven't we? So,
Hopefully. Go on, sorry.
some of them is thanks to people saying, have you tried this place and that place? Some of it is areas that we know anyway. And some of it is just down to lots of research and looking. Like I say, we go to places that we know there's hauntings rather than finding the places initially.
Yeah, hence the name of the group, Ghost Sighting Investigators, where something's already been apparently sighted. That's what we do then, we tool up and go in and have a look.
Yeah, definitely. So, we'll be going out further afield, probably we're going out towards Matlock, Buxton way, we've got some further up Yorkshire way that we wouldn't mind getting to.
East Drive, I'm sure most of you have heard of that one. Apparently the most haunted house in Britain is on our bucket list to do.
Yeah, we've got that.
That is quite an expensive one to do, unfortunately, but we've got to do it. Drakelow Tunnels, 3.5 miles underground, we want to look at doing that.
Yeah, that looks a good one as well.
We've got the Mansfield Inn.
Yeah, the village.
Coming up, the village.
Yeah, that's it. I've been there before. It's an interesting place, so hence the reason I want to go back.
Yeah, so we will be doing a fair bit.
So we're doing a couple, aren't we? Really? Yeah, we've got a lot planned, and the list keeps getting bigger. So yeah.
But anywhere you'd like us to go, send us a comment.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know. Always after new venues and places to go.
Absolutely. Right, and the last one from James is, what do you think? Do you think deja vu is paranormal related?
Ooh, it depends how you define paranormal. Most people attach paranormal to ghosts. I'd say, is it not normal?
That's paranormal.
So
something out of the ordinary.
if you look at it like that, is it not no deja vu then? Yeah, is it something that can't be explained well? Yeah, it is. So
what do you think it is?
Is it deja vu? Is the sense of being there, obviously, but never been there. So you're aware of what's happening. It's almost like you're predicting and have a sense that you're there and you've been there already. So you question whether at some point throughout your past life or lives that you've...
Like a past echo?
Yeah, it's like an echo, or even, at some point you've had a future echo. It's one of those, but yeah, so...
I mean, as it is paranormal, I mean, again, if you define paranormal as being out of the ordinary, it's definitely out of the ordinary, but what is it? I don't know. There's still a lot of undiscovered things with the human brain, unfortunately, and it could just be a symptom of something that we've not yet realised in a potential in ourselves, really. Yeah, I don't know. That's as far as I would go with it. It's definitely out of the ordinary, but would you class it in that same bracket as ghost spirits and things like that? No, I don't think so.
No, I won't put it in the same category as ghost. No.
Okay.
Yeah,
thanks for them, James.
Cheers, thanks for that.
So these have been sent in by Theo, so thank you very much for these, Theo. Where do we think the best place to see ghosts is? So I think what he's meaning by that, would it be a graveyard, a wood, a haunted house?
I think the answer is yes to all of those. It depends on the history and, unfortunately, the misery that's around them. It's the fact that whatever's there can't rest.
Yeah.
So they're not resting in pieces. We'd like to think all past people off for whatever reasons.
Yeah.
And that's either through unfortunate accidents, murders, not ready to move on.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say there's particularly a best place. I mean, the ones we've done, we've had hits in every one of them. We've also had nothing in every one of them.
Yeah.
So for me, I wouldn't say there's a specific one where we'd say, oh, that's the place to go.
Yeah.
But they've all got the pluses and minuses, really, haven't they?
Yeah. You can't turn around and go, this is it. If you want to get something, go there.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. So I don't think you can pigeonhole it, unfortunately. But yeah.
No.
And he's also sent in, what equipment do we think is best to be able to see a ghost?
Well, we've caught stuff on photograph. Video is obviously a good thing because it will show the movement. So really, it's looking at those. For us so far, you can turn around and argue we've got a photograph. So currently, I turn around and say that has been the best piece of kit.
I'd say so. It's been the most definitive for us, hasn't it, so far?
But then at the same time, we've had an orb at Gedling Wood,
Very true.
which again, in a photograph, is harder to prove that it's an orb because it could be dust, insects, or anything like that. So again, I think to turn around and go, which is the best piece of kit, I think it depends upon what you're capturing and how it's captured.
They've all got the uses, haven't they?
Yeah.
They all do something a little bit different, which, well, we've got the range of stuff, I suppose, so we can try and look at all eventualities to try and get the answer we're looking for.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah. I mean, you have the best piece of kit, do you think, or are you just sort of like saying, like say?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best evidence we've captured was by your camera.
Yeah.
I think, for the Codner Castle photos. The dictaphone's been good also, though.
Yeah.
You know, that's caught some voice phenomena that we'd not heard.
Yeah.
And then again, like I say, I like the video camera, but that didn't pick up the sound of what I would have classed. I would have put my house that the camera would have picked up that twig or leaf, stick or whatever it was breaking, and then something running off into the undergrowth. It was so loud, but it didn't. So in a way, the camera let me down then.
Yeah.
So as good as it is for pictures, audio, I would say for the dictaphone, myself.
I think, yeah, I mean, dictaphone's always been my favourite piece.
Yeah. But for getting a vlog camera. Definitely.
Yeah, without the camera we'd have no YouTube channels. So.
Right, Joe went to town on these, so thank you for Joe for all these. She's quite spiritual as well, so we do know Joe from work. She's a lovely lass, isn't she? We'll fire these at Ralph then.
Oh, thanks.
After investigations, do we delve deeper into the location history and see if it matches what we've experienced?
If we get things that we can't explain and we question, then yeah, I will delve into the history. It's only natural. I mean, I'll try and delve in a little bit prior to it as well. Again, when we went to Clifton, sighting was seen as a figure. We didn't say what that figure was, but when it was described to us, it corroborated what I picked up.
Yeah, that's on our Clifton West Night 1 vlog. That was my son Rob. We didn't tell him what we'd read, which was apparently there'd been sightings of a 7-foot figure in the woods. We never disclosed that to him at all, did we? And then Rob, during the night, said he saw a figure and described what we already knew, which made that really interesting for us. And then on the second night that myself and James did, James didn't know about that either, and he saw a figure that night. It seems to be that I knew about it, but I've not seen any figures on either of the investigations, but the people that haven't don't know if it likes showing to people that have got no inclination or something. But it seemed like I knew about it, Ralph knew about it, and we've never seen a figure.
No, not seen a figure like that, so no.
But we categorically know that Rob and James didn't know any information about the places that we were visiting.
So yeah, we did research before and after.
Yeah.
So yeah, most definitely.
We did research that afterwards, and we did find several other documented pieces of what they class as evidence of a similar sort of figure. So it did waver a little bit between 6 foot, 6.5 foot, 7 foot, but they all say it was a male figure. So yeah, the description's reasonably similar in most of them. So there's got to be something there. How do we protect ourselves from negative experiences, spirits and entities?
Oh,
well, if you don't mind, in a nutshell, Joe, we don't. Simply because, for me personally, if we're going to have an experience, I want it to be the full shebang, as it were. So I won't give protection. I don't know if that protection is supposed to, I know it's supposed to protect you obviously, but does it ward spirits off? Does it keep them at arm's length, as it were? If so, bring it on. No. So for me, I just want the whole experience.
I think, for me, ultimately the question is how much protection is offered to you if you go to an organised ghost hunt? and base it on that, and when they'll give you a series of like looking at Ouija boards and experiencing stuff like that, which are a lot closer to potential spirits coming through. We've not been to places that warrant that as it currently stands.
Not that we knew that before we went though.
I've never done it in all the years I've been looking at doing it, and there's perfectly nothing wrong with me, honest.
Really?
So no, we don't. But yeah, you can do. There are prayers you can do before, and there's prayers you can do. So beginning ones and exit ones as well.
But we don't.
But we don't do that. No, you won't
No.
be seen as church every Sunday or even before
No.
investigation.
If we're going to do it, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Do we think ghosts and spirits that present themselves to us need help, and would we help them if we could?
If we could help them, we would like to, but same as I'd say to anyone in the flesh, in the real sort of like flesh body, alive, we won't be able to make promises. We do what we can do.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's difficult with ghosts. You can only make something a promise and then arrange another appointment to go and see them a week on Saturday at 7 o'clock. So yeah, I mean, it's difficult. If we can help, yeah, we will do. If it means helping them put to rest or showing them a way, if we get that level of communication, yeah.
That's something we've not experienced at the moment though, that level.
No.
We've had plenty of communication, but not of that standard. We've also had a lot, haven't we, where we think we're being played about with.
Yeah.
So, although something may present itself and say potentially that it needs help of us, is it what it's proclaiming to be? Because we've been sceptical a few times, haven't we, that what is actually coming through is what it says is coming through, if that makes sense. I think there was once where we thought it was like a 12-year-old girl or something. But then we started getting sort of like demonic signs, and you know, there was just something not right about it. So we sort of backed off a little bit, didn't we? We wasn't sure.
Yeah.
And it's difficult to well, it's not difficult to help or want to help the spirits like that, but it's difficult to know what to do if you don't know what you're playing with, to be honest. I think is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't. Yeah, it is. It's difficult with that.
I mean, if we've got that proper level of communication, we was pretty sure, I mean, we do what we could.
We'd have
Absolutely.
to be 100% make sure that it's not a dark entity before we start putting ourselves in those realms.
Yeah.
To be honest,
Because they don't want to bring anything home.
especially if we don't protect ourselves. So.
What else has she put? The last one from Joe. Thank you, Joe. What are your thoughts on why spirits visualise and make themselves known to others, like us, but don't to other people?
I think it's a heightened sense. It's, I suppose really it's no different for answering your question in some respects, Joe, directly. It's the same as an animal picking up a sense whether it likes someone or not.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know, it's almost like that. You naturally have a sense of quickly be able to build rapport. You remember these people were people at some point or alive at some point, so you have a natural thing where you think, yeah, I'm not keen on that person, or yeah, I like that person, and I suppose that goes the same from a spirit.
Or at least it could do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I mean,
there's a theory.
yeah, it's who knows is, I suppose, is the only answer we can categorically give. But as a theory, I mean, that's as sound as any for me.
Yeah, so I think unless Hollywood make a factual story instead of interview with a vampire, interview with a ghost, and I don't think we're truly going to know.
No, I don't think so.
But if
yeah,
we do
I
find
agree
out,
with
then
that. Yeah, that's yeah. For me, that'd be the same.
yeah.
I think, yeah. And it's also like if we're there and we're trying to communicate, I suppose, are we making the effort where other people would just nonchalantly walk by, walking the dogs, doing whatever, you know, we're almost making the effort to communicate, so are they then making the effort with us?
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, thanks for them, Joe.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe.